And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Sir?
Ah.
Manscaped?
Uh-huh.
Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped, what are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So Manscaped is a
You-
must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to go
I
do the
know
deed
where-
on a
I
woman,
know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Racing stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well-manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start, where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found
have you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear, then
What is
retro? Just,
absolutely.
you're like, whoa.
Wow,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
like
46,
it
of
pops
course.
out?
Do you walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's
through.
a trooper. He's a trooper. Got to give him an A.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Man, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
holy
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick.
Right.
And you know what? You'll advance to a certain point, and then things will have to change. All right, hit it.
So, do we
Farrah.
want to flip it over to some wrestling? You
ahead.
started in Canada, Mr. Outback Jack.
Yes.
With Stu Hart, so many greats. Obviously,
Yes.
the Hart family. Bret Hart, Brian Pillman was involved, Davey Boy Smith.
Yes.
Of course, and Dynamite Kid.
Yes.
I've heard some bad things about Stu. Can you clear us up as far as your memories of Stu?
I have no memories of Stu because I have Alzheimer's, and
Okay.
I was trained by Les Thornton up in Canada. in
That's
Calgary.
impressive enough. How about Les Thornton? Give us your
Les
memories of-
Thornton's a marvelous chap. The classic man of 1,000 holes, knew his stuff,
Right.
knows the business. That's the
Right.
important part.
Right.
The stuff people don't get when you come into break into any industry, nobody tells you the secrets, and then you wander around like you're a dumbass for years until finally say you're hopeless, get out of here. But nobody's told you the secrets, so you're made to look like a dumbass.
How thorough was Les's training? I mean, did he?
Oh, it was great. I was with Les, and there was Bill Kazmaier, the world's strongest man.
Yeah.
And another chap, Dave Barbie. Dave
Sure.
Barbie, he joined the genuine 500-pound bench press club.
Right.
Strong man, great man, very pleasantly quiet.
How'd you hook up with Les Thornton? How do you wind up? Oh, by the way, my trainer
not just that, like,
is Les Thornton.
What
I mean,
makes
how do
you
you
decide
find
to even become a wrestler? Like, what? I'm just going to be a wrestler? Like, what happens?
that too?
How did that happen? I was working in the Humpty. Well, actually, I wasn't working in the pub, but I was at the pub every Saturday morning. We go to the pub from stations near and far. We'd come into town, and you'd obviously get rid of all your pay, and you'd drink as much beer as you could. And then,
Of course.
you'd watch a Wide World of Sport, and of course, on Wide World of Sport, direct from Madison Square Garden, was World Wrestling Federation. And we'd watch and we'd carry on and hoot and holler. And anyway, one day out of the blue, in walks this fella with a foot-long cigar, freshly lit, smallish bloke, but this fella, and said his name was Arnold Scoland.
Oh, wow.
And along with Arnold Scoland was Junkyard Dog. I think they came along for the ride, although they weren't terribly welcome, was Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine.
The dream
Do
team.
you
And
hear
they
this?
wanted to know what an Australian cattle station was like. So I said, hey, you've got a show in town? They said, yeah, we're showing tonight. I said, take all the pup, we'll go in and watch your show, and then tomorrow morning I'll take you out at Sparrow's Fart and I'll show you the station I work on. And that's how it happened. Took them out. I introduced them to Mary and Joe Groves, to their property. They were quite impressed that when we got off the road, the front gate to the main house was 88 miles. So it was a decent sized farm. It was about 600 plus square miles. And they thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. We shot and killed the buffalo, butchered it, grilled it.
He's shooting animals again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, only
ahead.
to survive.
Did you eat it?
Of course we did.
All right, that's different.
I don't
I'm
shoot
good.
animals.
It's got
to
a
be
happy
cruel.
ending. Okay.
Always, yes.
Okay.
Very, very tasty.
Okay.
Anyway, 3 weeks later, I get a big old letter from Bluey Drucker at the pub. Hey, this big letter came for you from the States. I said, oh. And inside was a hugs and kisses, come to Jesus, and we'll give you all this money. And that was that.
Wow.
Do you discount this as just fate? Do you realize what happened here? The story you just told. I mean, was this fate that led you to pro wrestling? I mean, you're in a bar and all of these guys walk in.
Look, I think the thing
This
was,
has got to be fate.
in '86, Vince was at the peak of gathering all. I don't necessarily want to say the best talent from around the world, but the most unique talent.
Sure.
And he could shape it into his own, with his own pound of clay, as it were.
Right.
So
Still doing it.
I tickled his fancy as Outback Jack.
What does Paul Hogan mean to you? Crocodile Dundee. Obviously, the timing was when the movie came out, and I saw the movie. You saw the movie. I think we saw it together. Crocodile. It was huge. How do you feel about? What is your impressions on Paul Hogan and how he helped shape, either directly or indirectly, what happened with Outback Jack?
Well, Outback Jack wasn't so much Crocodile Dundee,
Right.
as more of his mate Donk.
Okay. Okay.
And
You're going to have to translate a little for us
his
shallow
mate-
Long Islanders.
his big mate at
his
the
mate
pub-
Doink,
his
Donk?
big mate at the pub that had the spike haircut and the blue singlet on, his name was Donk, D-O-N-K.
Gotcha.
And that means an engine, a donk.
Okay.
And Donk, well, was considered not terribly bright, but he was funny and he was as tough as a gum tree, old gum tree.
So Vince saw the parallel between the
No, he
crocodile-
didn't see the parallel.
He didn't?
He saw the parallel between me and Dundee.
Okay.
Of course,
okay.
I mean, everything that Dundee did, I did.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
but in a real sense, Paul Hogan painted a bridge.
Had you seen Crocodile?
Oh, of course.
at
Saw
the-
it when
at
it
the
first
time?
came out.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
had to admit, I sat there with tears in my eyes.
I love Paul Hogan. I thought he was fantastic.
Well, I was in love with
It's
Linda
a great
Kozlowski.
movie.
The sequel wasn't as good.
That's
as the
not a
first
knife.
One, but,
This
but, you
is.
know, how
That
many
was.
how many sequels
Come on.
could you do?
Yeah, that's true.
3.
So they only did 2, right?
I
Three.
think so.
They did 3?
They made
Well,
3?
a total of 3.
Really? I
Really?
forgot
Yeah,
about the
Dundee,
third.
and then he did the one with his son, and then he did another one.
Son of
with his
Crocodile. Dundee.
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure.
Honestly, I only thought there was 2. I think it was.
Yeah.
No,
I remember
look,
too.
I might be wrong too. I thought there was 3, total of 3
Hey, look,
films.
I'm not
You
gonna
might be
argue.
right.
You're a
you
legend,
might be
so
right.
I won't
I don't
So
remember.
you did not train with Look, everybody knows your problems with Dynamite Kid and everything else, but